You're 19, and the man across the fire is taking a pistol apart without looking at his hands, counting the pieces out loud. 7 out, 7 back in. This is your life through every rank of Los Zetas, the cartel that was built by soldiers, run like an army, and trained to a standard no other cartel in Mexico could match. You will learn to strip that same pistol blindfolded, in the dark, in under a minute. And what nobody tells you that first night by the fire is that the standard is the trap. The man's name is Christian, though everyone calls him by a letter and a number, and he was airborne once. Real airborne. The government spent 2 years and a lot of money turning him into exactly the kind of soldier it sends to hunt men like the one he became. He deserted with a rifle and everything they built into him, and he carried both across to the other side. Now he trains you. He taps 2 fingers against his knee when he talks. A cadence, a count, a metronome that never quite stops in him. The fire is in a clearing outside a ranch in Tamaulipas. There are 11 of you tonight. In 6 weeks, there will be 9. Nobody explains where the other 2 went, and you learn very quickly not to be the one who asks. Level 1, the halcon. They put you on a corner with a radio and a phone and one job. See everything, touch nothing. You are a hawk. You watch a stretch of highway outside Nuevo Laredo, and you call in anything that matters. Military green, federal white, a plate you were made to memorize until Christian was satisfied you'd never forget it. The belonging lands warm and it lands fast. You eat with the estaca, the cell, 5 men who share a house and a radio channel, and a pot of beans that never seems to empty. They teach you the codes. They laugh at your accent. One of them, older, missing half a finger, saves you the good cut of meat because you're the youngest. And this is a thing they do for the youngest. You have never in your life been this necessary to anyone. Then one night, you call in a white truck, and 40 minutes later, the radio says the white truck stopped, somewhere it should not have stopped. And after that, there is a silence on the channel that is its own kind of answer. You didn't touch anyone. You only spoke into a radio. But you understand, sitting on that curb with the phone still warm in your hand, that a man's last hour began with the sound of your voice. You get as far as wondering his name. You stop yourself there. That is the night you learn the first line doesn't get crossed with your hands. Level 2, the sicario. The promotion is a nod. Christian hands you a rifle you have already been trained on, and the training was so complete that the first time is somehow not the first time. Your hands know it. Your body knows it. Only the part of you that is still a person is surprised, and that is the design. They spent those weeks in the clearing making sure the soldier moves before the man can think to object. The money is real now. You send it home through a woman who asks nothing, and your mother believes you do security at a refinery in Reynosa, which sits close enough to true that you can say it without your voice changing. Your younger brother is 14. He tells his friends his brother is somebody. You buy him boots. You tell him to stay in school with a force that surprises you both, and you hear exactly how hollow it sounds, coming from you, wearing what you're wearing, holding what you hold. The cost is not the killing. Or it is not only the killing. The cost is how quickly the killing becomes ordinary. You start clocking the exits of every room. You sleep in 90-minute pieces. And you catch yourself counting the exact way Christian counts. Pieces, seconds, cars on a highway. The metronome has started ticking inside you too. Level 3, the estaca leader. Here is what you think is happening. You are climbing. Halcon, then sicario. And now they hand you 4 men and a channel of your own. A small unit to run. A piece of the plaza to hold. A promotion. A rung on a ladder. Here is what is actually happening, and it arrives the night one of your 4 does not come back, and Christian does not blink, does not pause the count on his knee, only tells you to pull a replacement from the ranch by Thursday. The Estaca is not a team. It is a slot on a chart. The whole genius of the thing, the reason soldiers were the ones who built it, is that no single man is load-bearing. They trained all of you to the identical standard precisely so that all of you are interchangeable. A cell that loses a man does not grieve him. It requisitions another. You are never being promoted up a ladder. You are being fitted deeper into an army that was engineered, from the first night at that fire, to never once need any of you by name. You sit with that for a long time. Outside somewhere, men are running drills in the dark. Level 4, the plaza boss. Now a whole town answers to you, and the drugs are close to the smallest part of it. You tax everything. The cantinas, the taco carts, the man who steals fuel out of the Pemex pipeline, and the men who steal it back from him. Extortion, kidnapping, the pipeline, the crossings. A Zeta Plaza is a shadow government running a real economy, and you are its treasury, and its army, and its court all at once. You are also, now, the one who gives the order you used to only speak into a radio. You send men north to a town called Allende because a name in a ledger went bad. And what comes back on the channel 3 days later is a number so large it stops sounding like people at all. You did not go. You got as far as the door of the room where it was decided. You did not have to step inside. That is the thing rank actually buys you. Distance from your own hands. Your brother is 17 now. He turns up at the ranch one afternoon in new boots you didn't buy him, grinning because somebody recruited him, because your name held open the door you spent 3 years leaning against to keep shut for him. You look across the yard at Christian, still tapping, still counting, and for the first time, you understand what the count has always been. He isn't keeping time. He's keeping accounts. He has been counting the ones who arrived against the ones who left since long before you got there, and the number only ever moves one direction. Level 5. The Commandante. You have a region now. Several plazas. A title that's a letter and a number. The exact thing every man at that first fire was told to want. You have a house you are never inside. A wife who has learned the precise value of not asking, and a satellite phone that rings with the voices of men, deciding in real time whether you are still worth keeping. Because that is the last thing the discipline teaches, and it saves that lesson for last on purpose. The same army that made Christian is coming for you. Not the police, the Marina, the Naval Special Forces. Men trained the way you were trained, hunting you the way you were taught to hunt. The soldiers built a cartel, and the state answered by building better soldiers. Somewhere out there is a young Marine field stripping a rifle without looking at his hands, counting the pieces, and he is the version of you that stayed on the right side of a single decision made a long time ago. He is patient, and he is coming. You find Christian at the end, in a back room of a safe house, older, quieter. A letter and a number nobody bothers to say anymore. They moved him down, not up. A man the army used until the edge wore off him. His hands are moving. There is no pistol in them. There is nothing in them at all. But the fingers are still stripping and seating pieces that are not there. 7 out and 7 in. In the dark. In under a minute. Because it is the last thing left when everything the training was for is finished. The motion outlived the use. The soldier outlived the man. You watch him, and you already know exactly what you're looking at. You were 19 at that fire, and a man told you the standard was everything, while his hands took a pistol apart without looking. He was right. The standard was everything. The fire, the count, the 7 pieces in the dark. It was all the same lesson, taught so early and so gently you mistook it for a welcome. The discipline was never building you a life. It was building the state a sharper weapon, and building the cartel a soldier it could replace. And you were only ever the place where those two things overlapped. If this pulled you in, subscribe and drop a like. There's more coming. Everyone wants to be the exception to the system they signed up for. The system was designed by people who already knew that about you before you walked in. That's the entire trick of it. It recruits the part of a man that believes the rules are meant for other men. Your brother is 19 now. He is at a fire outside a ranch in Tamaulipas, and there is a man across from him taking a pistol apart without looking, counting the pieces out loud. 7. Your brother is learning to do it blindfolded in under a minute, because someone has told him the standard is everything. He believes, the way you believed, that he'll be the one it doesn't spend.